Wonderful. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I am going to go ahead and pull up our PowerPoint here. Okay, so we can be a little long-winded, so we are going to try to talk fast and get through this quickly in case you have any questions. So we are from the Mental Health and Recovery Board of Union County. I'm the Youth Systems of Care Director, and my colleague Wren here is the lead family coordinator and the Ohio training coordinator for the FREDLA practice model. So we're really excited to share a little bit with you about our experience, kind of how we got here with this curriculum, and then how you are able to have folks in your community access this great curriculum. So we wanted to provide a little bit of background. So what is the Mosaic Project? So again, I said we're the County Behavioral Health Authority in Union County, Ohio. If you're not familiar with Marysville, we are close to Columbus. We consider ourselves a small but mighty county. So we have a population that is close to 60,000 with about 13,000 youth. We're the second fastest growing county in Ohio, but we definitely still have a lot of agricultural business in our county as well. If you're familiar with Scott's and Honda, they are located here as well. So we tend to pride ourselves on being an innovative and forward-thinking board. In 2019, we were awarded a $4 million SAMHSA System of Care grant, and that really is what started kind of our pathway on the family peer support work. So our grant, we really wanted to focus on population health, evidence-based service, inclusion of supports and protective factors, and really focus on that family strengths, with some of our key goals being making it easy for families to access the right services at the right time, and expanding our system of care all the way across the continuum. So one of the key initiatives of that we really knew was going to be imperative to bring to our community was family peer support. So that really, at the time, there was no state certification. So that really led us, and by us, I mean our resident expert, Wren, down the pathway of doing a lot of research to really identify what curricula is out there, and really to look at what was going to be the best option to prepare our workforce to best serve our families and make sure that we were meeting the needs of our community. So that length of time through researching really led us to select the FREDLA practice model curriculum. So the Mental Health and Recovery Board of Union County, we are the Ohio license holder for the FREDLA National Practice Model Curriculum. So that includes both a parent peer support provider curriculum as well as a parent peer support supervisor curriculum. So again, we were thrilled to select this because at the time, there was no state certification in Ohio. So we wanted to make sure that our folks that we were training, and particularly those in our community, were going to be able to seek national certification if they wanted to do that. Now we are even more thrilled because as of this spring, there is a state of Ohio certification process for family peer supporters. And so our curriculum, the FREDLA practice model, is one of 2 approved curriculums for the training portion of those certification requirements. So let's back it up a little bit. For some of us that may not be quite as familiar, let's just do a quick review of what family peer support is. So when we think about that, it's important to know that it's a caregiver to caregiver approach. So in order to be eligible to even take the training or to become certified, someone has to have lived experience raising a child with mental health, behavioral health, substance use challenges, and navigating those youth serving systems. That is absolutely key. So again, it's a caregiver to caregiver approach, supporting families, children, youth, and young adults that have mental health or substance use challenges. So again, we know the lived experience is essential. They have a high degree of training. So Wren's going to talk a lot more specifically about the training, but the family peer support provider piece of it is a 40-hour training. So again, they're trained to assist families in being able to provide support, identify resources, and facilitate access to services for the child and family. So they're really working with that family to build up their confidence in being able to navigate and access resources for their child once they're no longer working with that family. So on the right-hand side of the screen there, you'll just see some of those key things. Again, like anything else, they're really taking a strengths-based approach to this family-driven model. So you'll see here just really, if we want to summarize, kind of bring it down to the basics of what can you do as a certified family peer supporter. You connect with families and support them. You partner with families and help them advocate for services for their child. Educate them to help develop skills that they might need to support their children. Engage with the diverse professionals as part of the family care team. So in our county right now, we have family peer supporters as part of our wraparound teams, as part of our mobile response and stabilization services team that's available 24/7 to go to families' homes. And then we also have them available as a standalone service that families can even refer themselves to. Again, a strengths-based approach to help families navigate those services, really to help them feel less alone, to enhance the collaboration between families and service providers, support family confidence and development of self-efficacy, and help them build that resiliency to know that they can help their child access these services and that they're a key part of these family teams. They work to empower families to actively partner in their child's care, and they encourage caregiver self-care and family resiliency. So again, they'll encourage families to take care of themselves and access services for themselves if that is needed. You'll see on the left-hand side of the screen here, you'll see where it says Mosaic Family Support Institute. So as part of our Mosaic project, another umbrella under that, we have the Mosaic Family Support Institute. And that's really what encompasses our family peer support trainings and our supervisor training, as well as a community of practice for continued learning and professional development and coaching for family peer supporters and supervisors. So again, just some more information about what they do. It's really important to understand that this is a diverse role. They can really have levels, they can really have roles at all levels of service intensity. So from community outreach all the way to inpatient hospitalization, and they're really working to infuse that family voice and support at all levels. So this is just another graphic that really shows some of those roles that they can take on with families.
So this is where I'm going to pop in. Why do we have family support? What are the benefits to parents for family support, family peer support? And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I was hired here at the board to infuse my family voice and choice, because I actually have lived experience. I have an 18-year-old that probably around 11 or 12 started having some mental health challenges. So I have certainly navigated my way through systems, and I did it all by myself. I didn't have this option. If I would have had this option, then a lot of these things, my story and my situation would have been drastically different. The outcomes would have been different. I definitely, along with some of these benefits, increasing the empowerment for the family to take action for their child. I definitely felt like I was to blame and felt very isolated. So it helps to reduce that internalized blame and that family isolation. And through the raising the importance of self-care and that sense of collaboration with community partners, and that sense of self-efficacy to also take care of their child on their own, it increases those resiliency factors. Again, had I had a parent peer supporter, my outcome would have been a lot less traumatic. Thank goodness we're on the other side of it. So, but yeah, go ahead. So this is just some of the things that our Union County families have experienced through working with parent peer support providers. So one of them says, an amazing experience that helped us move forward to the next steps in what we needed with our family to be successful. The other parent says, having my parent peer support provider by my side has dramatically reduced my stress and consequently my daughter's stress. Those two things are the goals. That's the goal of it. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear that their experience has changed due to parent peer support. So how do you become a family peer supporter? And you'll see us interchange parent peer and family peer support. The certification in Ohio is called a family peer support specialist. Our training is a parent peer support provider. So they're very similar. I would venture to say they're the same thing. We view them the same way. They just have different names. We have trainings, like Randy mentioned. We have one of the 2 approved trainings for the state of Ohio certification available. We've got the one for the parent peer support provider. It's a 40-hour training. So it's basically a 5-day training. We offer it in person, virtually, or a combination of the 2. And then there's the supervisor piece Randy mentioned. It's a 24-hour training. So it's 3 8-hour days. Also available in person, virtual, and hybridly if needed. And actually, and at the top of the page that I did not mention, they are currently being offered at no cost right now. So that's a huge draw. Just to briefly scratch the surface of what the FREDLA practice model looks like, it provides that framework for the essential functions for the family peer supporter, offering training and practicing of skills across the 6 phases of parent peer support, which is your connect phase, discover phase, support, empower, prepare, and take care. There are a lot it's called the practice model because it's full of activities, interactive activities that the group will do together. It also, one of the best parts of it is it names a family and gives a scenario, and we take that family through every phase of parent peer support. So it shows how that works across those phases. So why choose the FREDLA model? Again, it is, Randy mentioned, it's nationally, the National Family Federation for Families with Children's Mental Health, the National Federation is what we call it. Sorry, I fumbled over that. According to their core competency areas that need to be covered and to take their exam, our training covers. So once you take our training, you're then able to take that national exam to be certified nationally. Again, it's approved for the curriculum in Ohio, the Ohio Certified Family Peer Support. It is, again, facilitated in person, virtually, or hybridly. There are opportunities to practice those core skills. Like I mentioned, lots of activities, ongoing skill building and connection through, we have a community of practice. Anyone that has taken our training gets to come together once a month and talk about challenges and do trainings and hear speakers. Which will be good when it comes to continuing education credits that needed for that Ohio certification. And again, it's training and support for your supervisor. Having a supervisor trained to help the workforce that uses lived experience as their backbone is really crucial for this workforce. And again, provided at no cost for a limited time. What could be better? And before we leave this page, on the left-hand side here is a pathway to get that state certification. Number 1, take one of the two curriculums training. Number 2, complete the certification application through e-license on the OMAS website. Number 3, complete a background check for the FBI and BCI. Once that comes back, then you're given we like to call it a celebration of knowledge because a test or assessment sounds really harsh. So then you take your assessment of knowledge or your celebration of knowledge for the FREDLA training. Once you get an 80% or higher, then you pass and you get your Ohio certification. So I think that might be.
I think the only piece on this other piece on this page, which you can see, yes, we won't read off to you, really is just that the feedback that we've received from participants taking this training has just been phenomenal. And you'll see that there, it truly, and we've seen it in our community as well, it truly prepares this workforce to serve families and to help them advocate for their needs and find the services that they need.
Absolutely. So we do have a few scheduled trainings that are already scheduled, some for the provider and some for the supervisor. If you go to the Mental Health and Recovery Board of Union County's website, click on the training tab, you'll see those available. And also, if you're interested in bringing a training actually to your county or region or organization, we are happy to do that as trainers as well. So there's my contact information. Again, the Mental Health and Recovery Board of Union County website under the training tab. Or you can go to mosaicu.org and look under the Family Support Institute. And I hope we didn't talk too quickly. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to shout them out, write them in the chat, whatever, or get a hold of us. I think the next slide might have our information on it. And Randy, did you have anything else to add?
No, we appreciate the opportunity to be here with you guys, and we're willing to help in any way we can. We have just seen the tremendous impact that this service has had for our families across the continuum of care in our county. So we're excited to be able to share this with other communities.